Good afternoon. Give me a moment to make sure that I'm live. Okay, looks like we are good to go. Good afternoon. Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I have an Easter card for you today using the adorable Excellent Eggs bundle and some lighter than air designer series paper. And I also pulled in an additional sentiment and some images from the Easter Bunny stamp set, excuse me, which is in the annual catalog. So you'll be able to find that there. But just a cute little egg. The greeting, the sentiment is stamped directly onto the egg, and I'm going to share with you how I did that. But let's take a look here. So this is the Excellent Eggs bundle, and I've got a few stamp sets out of here. But it's got some various size eggs in the stamp set, a zigzag, a scallop, this little curved piece, a little bunny image that you can stamp and cut out. So just really adorable. And I know, right, Mary? I'm really tongue-tied today. So I need to slow down a little bit. And then the Easter Bunny stamp set, I just pulled in this little image of the eggs and then one of the sentiments. And then the lighter than air 6x6 designer series paper. Mary, Joan, Sharon, hello. Thanks for joining. Is just about perfect for Easter cards because this paper is so fun. It's got all the pastel colors. And so the lighter than air is actually part of the Sweet collection with the hot air balloon set, but it makes pretty awesome Easter cards. So that's what I went with. And my card is for a color challenge for tomorrow's Happy Ink and Thursday blog hop. So be sure to stop over to my website tomorrow to check out the hop and that color challenge, because there's going to be a lot of inspiration, I know. All right. So just before we get started, so what I did was, I'm just going to bring in a few pieces here. So what I did was I already pre-cut my, this is the largest egg die. And I just cut one egg from basic white cardstock. And then what I did was with the designer series paper, I cut out a whole egg. But if you want to conserve your paper, you can, just partially cut out. So for like the bottom portion here of this paper, you could just cut out a portion and then come back with the, after you've cut the egg piece out, come back with the zigzag and cut your little bottom piece here. That die did that. Or you can do like I did and cut the whole egg out of the designer series paper. And then what you're left with are these fun little pieces, right? And that zigzag die actually cuts out the whole zigzag. So you could use the pieces that are left, if you cut a whole egg out of your designer series paper, and then the pieces you're not using for this card, you could make up some more Easter eggs. And I just think it's so much fun. I just think that is really a lot of fun, these dies. So I just wanted to share that with you, what I did, and then, what you could do. And then here's the other little die that I used, the scallop die, which is really precious. Now this just cuts the scallop edge, but the zigzag die will cut out a complete piece. So you can either cut an edge or you could cut out the whole zigzag and then just make your egg like all zigzags. I've seen that done. That's really cute as well. Hi Faith, thanks so much for joining. So what I'm gonna do here, we're gonna do some stamping. We're gonna do a little bit of coloring, but I wanted to share with you just how you can cut your egg pieces and use all the pieces, and get more than one little egg out out of your project here. So what I'm going to do is, this is the Happy Easter sentiment from the Excellent Eggs stamp set. And I'm going to stamp our Happy Easter greeting. So I just kind of, hey Amy, thanks so much for joining. I just kind of laid my pieces over that white egg. And I'm going to ink up my stamp here. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that I get it somewhat straight. I'm holding my breath. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to take that. All right. And I shouldn't have closed my ink up because I have more stamping to do. So let me grab my pieces and we'll get some more stamping done here. Hope everybody's having a good day. Yeah, you got to hold your tongue just right. You got that right, Mary. I did cut out an extra Easter egg just in case I really messed up the sentiment. So I'll save that for a future project. But just a little bit about our card here today. This is a book binding fun fold or book fun fold. And so it is bound here, just like a book would be, on the left edge. And so the inside sentiment in the front is basically a square. Super easy to create. I have here a pool party card base, and this measures 11 by 4 1/4, and it is scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. And I have not turned up my little book portion here of this card yet, so let me do that real quick. Alrighty. But just wanted to share with you what kind of fold we have here. And that is the envelope for that. All right, let's just get a little bit of stamping done. So I've got a secondary sentiment here, enjoy all the little moments, and that is from the Easter Bunny stamp set. And I'm going to stamp this onto our inside panel in Balmy Blue ink. So I've got kind of all of the pastel colors going here on this card, which are, you know, it's just so much fun. And like I said, this paper is just perfect for Easter cards yeah, okay, got it straight. That's good. All right. And then I've got the Easter egg image here, and this is also from the Easter Bunny stamp set. And I'm going to stamp those down here at the bottom, also in Balmy Blue ink. And then we're going to do a little bit of coloring, but not much. Not too much. And I'm going to stamp the Easter eggs on the envelope front as well. Just like that. And then I've got the butterfly, also from the Easter Bunny stamp set. So I've used 2 different stamp sets here on the card. And yeah, pastels just work for spring. They definitely do. And this is the sweetest little butterfly. It is just darling. I'm going to stamp this in fresh freesia ink. And here on my inside panel, I'm going to stamp that just above the sentiment. And then on my envelope, I'm going to stamp the butterfly kind of hovering over the Easter eggs. Seemed appropriate. All right, there we go. And that is it for the stamping, so quick and easy. And I am going to grab some Stampin' Blends here, and I've got all my pastels going. And this is Bubble Bath, and I am going to use Bubble Bath. I need to put my little sample card up so I can remember how I colored these eggs, because I don't remember. But the little butterfly is going to be Bubble Bath. And this is the light shade of Bubble Bath. And I'm just kind of trying to be careful around those little circles of color there on my butterfly. We're having rain here today, and it's just very gloomy outside. It rained yesterday too. So I think it's gonna rain for like the next week or so, which is kind of depressing. But but it's spring, so. I did notice today that my daffodils are coming up. They're just starting to bloom in. I can't believe it. It's kind of early, I think, but maybe not. All right, I'm just putting a scrap piece of cardstock inside my envelope just so that I don't, just so the markers don't bleed through to the other side of my envelope. I tend to have a heavy hand when I'm coloring. I can have a heavy hand when coloring. So I just like to put a scrap piece of paper or cardstock inside. Just so I don't ruin my envelope. And just getting these little, this won't take too long, I promise. That was Bubble Bath, and then we're going to move to Lemon Lolly. And I've just got a couple of little circles here on the eggs in Lemon Lolly. And then I think I've got, yeah, one of my zigzags here is Lemon Lolly. Doesn't have to be exact. I was just trying to follow what I was doing, what I did on the other card. Yeah, but I was so happy to see the daffodils, and they're the little miniature daffodils. They are so sweet. They are just so cheerful. Last year, I think it was last year, I went outside, and the mini daffodils are right at the bottom of our deck stairs. And I walk down the deck stairs and I see all these little daffodil bulbs laying on the ground. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was actually, it was not in spring. It was like in summer. And I told Mark, I said, something dug up the daffodil bulbs. And he's like, oh, I thought they were like wild garlic or something. And he was pulling my daffodil bulbs out of the ground. And I'm like, oh, this is why I don't have any pretty flowers. So I was able to, you know, and it's good that the dogs didn't get a hold of them because they're very toxic to dogs, tulip and daffodil bulbs. So fortunately, I was able to get them in the ground, no harm, no foul. They came up just fine the following year, and he hadn't dug them all up. So thank goodness, but I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Don't pull up my daffodil bulbs. But my poor husband, he helps in the garden. I can't garden like I used to. You know, so he'll be pulling weeds. Well, he pulls my flowers up. He pulls the perennials up. He doesn't mean to. It just sort of happens, but yeah. But anyway, I need to focus here and get my card colored in. I'm talking too much. I'm having too good of a time talking. All right. Yeah, but to him, like, everything looks like a weed, I guess, you know. If you're not paying attention, everything looks like a weed. So, God bless him that he pulls weeds. I'm grateful for that. But I just wish he wouldn't pull my plants up. Almost done here, guys, I promise. See, I was talking too much. Just coloring in the little stripes on our eggs. And we're done with that color. And this is the dark shade of Pool Party. And I'm just going to color the top of that egg in. Top and bottom. But aren't they cheerful, these little Easter eggs? I think these are so sweet. And then I'm just going to kind of color every other square in. I'm not worried about those squares on the outside. It doesn't have to be, you know, a perfect plaid. I mean, these images are so tiny. You really just need to color them in. You don't need to do anything special. I almost just point that one out. All right, let's get the top of this one, and then we are almost done. I said that already, didn't I? All right, and last color is Balmy Blue. And I'm just going to go ahead and just color in quickly this little egg, and then we can go ahead and get our card put together. It's a very quick and easy card. Very easy stamping. It's very easy to put that Easter egg together. But I have been having a ton of fun with the Excellent Eggs bundle. It's just so darn cute. Just so darn cute. Alrighty. So let's put our card together. First things first, let me find my mats. And let's put our little Easter egg together here. Pulled up dead flowers. Nothing had a chance to come back. I know. I know. I have been dealing with that for years. I used to have, we had all these different kind of established flower beds in the front and back. And the one in the front, I had designed it so that something was always in bloom. So it was just a really pretty garden. And over the years, he slowly pulled up my plants. And so I'm just going to piece our designer series paper here, whoops, that I have cut to our white egg. But this is another use for those dies, is kind of paper piecing of sorts with your designer series paper. I've also seen people cut eggs out of the designer series paper. That's quite pretty. There is a decorative egg in there, a die that cuts out all kinds of, you know, little holes and whatnot. This one. Oops. This one. And I did some paper piecing with that, and that was a lot of fun as well. So lots of uses here. So for a book fold, I'm opening my card base up, and then I've got this little slender kind of 1 1/8 section here. I'm going to go ahead and apply glue to that section. And that is what creates, and then I'm going to close it up and just give it a good press. But that is what creates the binding portion of the card. So it doesn't get any easier than that for a book fun fold. And then I've got my mats in Lemon Lolly, and I'm going to go ahead and start piecing these together. And yeah, very simple, easy card. But look how cheerful with the little eggs and the little butterfly. Just so sweet. Oops. Yeah, we'll get this put down on the inside of the card. I like that glue for the wiggle room it provides. I always need that. And I'm just looking for an equal reveal all around the edges there, and that looks good to me. And then I went with a bubble bath kind of arrow pattern, and I'm missing, I am missing a piece. I'm missing a piece. Oh no. I bet you I put it back in the pack. Yeah, I see it. I put it back in the pack. I guess it got away from me and I thought it didn't belong. I actually cut this paper so that it would, I think, no, that's not the piece. That's not the piece. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, you know what? I threw it out. I did. I threw it out by accident. Is that the piece? That's not the piece either. All right, what did I do? What did I do? Well, so much for that. Give me a minute here. I need to make sure it didn't get under my glass mat. Nope. Well, darn. How did I manage to lose that little piece of paper? All right, let me cut a new piece here real quick. And I think this piece of paper needs to be 1 inch by 4 inches. Oh boy, I really hear the rain coming down. So my paper did line up, but it's not going to line up now, but we'll see how if it looks bad, I'll cut new pieces, but let's see how this looks. Make sure it's going to fit. But I do want my arrows to go the same direction. Let me see here. I think it'll look all right. We'll go with that. Can't believe I lost that little piece of scrap paper. Well, I do believe it. I know. They do have legs, Mary. They walk. It's really annoying. I have these pieces all together. I was completely ready to go. And then just at the last minute, yep. Alrighty. And so just matting these up to some lemon lolly. Got a little carried away there with the glue. And this one, just need to pay attention to which direction the arrows are going when you are gluing these up to the front of your card. So I'm going to have my arrows going to the left. Oops. See why I like liquid glue? Wiggle room. There we go. I think I need to bring it up some. Whoops. Alrighty. So that I just need to make sure the arrows are headed in this direction for this piece of paper. I know lemon lolly is such a cheerful yellow. I'm not a yellow person at all. I like orange, I like reds and all those. I've never been a yellow person, but this is truly a pretty yellow. And I find myself grabbing it a lot just because it's so soft and pretty. Amy, I know this is like one of your favorite colors, the lemon lolly. Alrighty, and we'll get this on the card front, and believe it or not, we're almost done. I have a feeling I'm running over here. I'm going to probably. And then when I'm putting this panel down, I'm looking for that equal reveal, but I also want to make sure that the panel tops across here kind of line up, and it looks like they do. And I think that is pretty good. All right, let me just kind of line my card up here. I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals here on the back of my egg. I almost said leg, I kid you not. Boy, what is with me today? I can't talk. And I'm going to put lots of dimensionals. I noticed with my other card, it seemed like my egg was a little bit saggy in the middle. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting plenty of Stampin' Dimensionals on there to hold it. Let me cap my glue here before it gets all dried out. All right. So is everybody ready for spring? I know I am. I am so ready for spring. And I can't, do we turn the clocks ahead this weekend? I think we might. Yeah, no saggy eggs. You crack me up, Barry. No saggy eggs. So I'm lining the center of this square portion up on my grid paper so I can use the center line to make sure that I'm getting my egg kind of close to being in the center of my card. And that looks pretty good to me. And what else do we need to do here? We need to tie a bow. I'm using the sheer ribbon combo pack, and these are pretty pastel colors as well. And I'm going to use some lemon lolly ribbon, and I'm going to tie a fairly large bow. I wanted that bow to be nice and noticeable on the card front, since it really is just the single egg on the card front. It does need a little bit more, and so I thought a nice larger bow would be in order here. And I did not get my ribbon scissors out. Let me get those out. Yeah, it is this weekend to spring ahead. Good to know. And then Easter is early this year. Easter is at the end of March. Gosh, that's hard to believe. I don't know. It just seems like we're in a new year already, and the year is just racing by already. Isn't that crazy? So I'm going to put my nice big bow kind of right there on the side. I can trim those ribbon ends down a little bit if I need to, but I did want a sizable bow because it just has the single egg. You know, we don't want our card to be too plain Jane. And I was fooling around a little bit with the other card, and I really didn't notice that the ribbon, you know, was interfered much with this hinge here when opening the card. And so I think it works out just fine. And let me grab, these are the rainbow adhesive back dots. And these are just so pretty. And we've got all the different colors here, but I'm going to go for these yellow ones. And I think I'm going to put a yellow, small yellow dots here, kind of inside my zigzags on the egg. And that's 3. And let's go for a larger one. Let's put one up here on the sentiment label and one more larger yellow dot. And where should we put it? Let's put it out here. I think that looks good. Alrighty, and the only thing we have left here is to glue up our designer series paper. And I chose a whole other pattern from the Lighter Than Air pack for the envelope. Because why not, right? We're using all these different pattern papers. And they kind of all coordinate. And then we are done. Yeah, it just seems like it was Christmas and then New Year's, and then we're already looking to the end of March. That's crazy. My husband's birthday today. We aren't celebrating though until Sunday. He's actually going out with a friend on Saturday to a basketball game. And so we'll be celebrating his birthday on Sunday. Another year older. My husband and I are 2 weeks apart. So he's the oldest. He gets to turn older before me, which I love. All right, and there we go. So a sweet little Easter card. And honestly, this card would be great for anybody. It'd be great for kids, adults. I don't think it really matters. But a sweet little Easter card. And yeah, so Mary, you didn't put your Christmas tree away yet. Well, I think you can't right now, right? With your back. Need to let that back heal up first. All right, guys, listen, thanks so much for joining. I'll be back here next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I hope you'll join me for another card tutorial. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.